Have you ever wondered why two people with the exact same salary live completely different lives? One is constantly in debt and stressed out, while the other is traveling, buying property, and building wealth? What's the secret? Is it luck? Inheritance? In reality, it's much more straightforward than that. The difference comes down to one single skill: financial literacy, the ability to manage your finances. Today, we are kicking off a major video series on how to turn financial chaos into a clear, structured system. And we're going to start with the foundation. Without this, any strategy for personal finance or investing is just a shot in the dark. We are going to conduct a comprehensive audit of your income and expenses. Before we get to the numbers, I want to tell you about a pitfall that almost everyone falls into. It's called the Diderot Effect. The French philosopher Denis Diderot was given a gorgeous, luxurious scarlet robe as a gift. It was so elegant that the old furniture in his study started to look shabby in comparison. So he bought a new armchair, then a mirror, and later a sophisticated new desk. Eventually, he was in debt and surrounded by expensive items. Does that sound familiar? We buy a new phone, and suddenly we need premium headphones, a matching case, and then a lifestyle that fits the gadget. This is precisely the first place where your future investments start hiding. Numbers don't lie. Global statistics show that more than half of the population, about 59%, has never engaged in financial planning. And only 1 in 4 people has any kind of clear written plan. Why does this happen? We often think we already know everything, but our brain misleads us. In behavioral finance, there's a concept called the illusion of control. We remember major purchases, but our brain conveniently forgets the small expenses, that coffee on the go, the monthly subscriptions, the small impulsive buys. Studies show that people underestimate their actual spending by 20% to 30%. It's this invisible percentage that makes the difference between just getting by and having money to invest. This is very similar to how investors react to market volatility. When the stock market is up, everyone thinks it will last forever. When money is spent little by little, we feel like it's insignificant. But it's these small things that are the reason your capital isn't growing. This video is your foundation. By the end of it, you won't just have a better understanding, you'll have a concrete tool that will show you where your resources are actually leaking. The general consensus is that you need to earn more. But in practice, how you spend is much more important. I categorize expenses into 3 key buckets. Let's break them down with examples so you can apply this to your own life. Bucket 1, the essentials. These are your survival needs, the things without which your life literally stops. In the past, we only talked about a roof over your head and food. But today, this includes rent or mortgage, utilities, basic groceries, and mandatory insurance, health or auto. Ideally, this category should not exceed 50% of your income. If it's higher, you are in the risk zone. Any sudden event, getting sick or laid off, will pull the rug out from under you. In the US, there's a common 50-30-20 rule, and the foundation of that rule is this 50%. The total of these expenses is your baseline living cost. If your income barely covers this bucket, that's a major red flag. Economists call this having a low margin of safety. Bucket 2, the discretionary spending, the nice-to-haves. This is what makes life comfortable, but is technically optional in an emergency. Online subscriptions, pool memberships, dining out near the office instead of bringing lunch from home, the gym. This is your wiggle room. Did you know the average city dweller spends between $100 and $500 a year on subscriptions they don't even use? That's the price of a good educational course or several shares of a major company. A smart investor analyzes this category constantly. And bucket 3, The non-essential, the impulse buys. This is my favorite category. This is where all the impulse purchases land. The fifth phone case, buying a branded item on sale just because it was a deal, even though you didn't need it. Or that third streaming service subscription you haven't used in 6 months. Why do we buy this stuff? Because it provides an instant hit of dopamine. Stress at work leads to a purchase, which leads to 5 minutes of joy, which is followed by guilt. It's a vicious cycle. Marketers know this and use sales to trigger your brain. But remember, a 50% discount on something you don't need is not saving $50. It's spending $50. We often make these purchases subconsciously to relieve stress, but in the long run, these financial leaks rob us of the opportunity to buy assets that could be generating passive income. Think about this. If you added up all your purchases in the non-essential bucket for the last 3 years, what number would you get? For most of you, there's at least a brand new iPhone buried there. Or for some, a down payment on an apartment, or capital that could already be generating passive income. But don't despair just yet. In a few minutes, I'll show you a technique that will help you find that money. Let's move to income. You'd think this would be simple. How much came in is what we count on for the month. But there are nuances. If you are an employee, your income is stable, which makes planning easy. But if you're an entrepreneur or a freelancer, your income is an EKG. It's feast one month, famine the next. If you are an entrepreneur, this might mean that separating your personal wallet from your business money is absolutely critical. It's a massive mistake to just take money out of the till for personal needs without a system. Set a fixed salary for yourself. This creates psychological discipline and allows your business to breathe. Freelancers often make the mistake of spending everything in a feast month to celebrate, only to rely on credit cards in a famine month. This is called lifestyle creep. As soon as we start earning more, we instantly increase our spending. The secret to wealth isn't just earning a lot. It's maintaining the delta, the gap between your income and your expenses. If you have seasonal income, you need to analyze at least 12 months of data. This will help you understand your average monthly income and prepare for the low season without taking on debt. Now, let's get to the most exciting part. How do you technically analyze your income and expenses to understand your capabilities? I suggest creating a simple spreadsheet. At the top, you record all your income. At the bottom, you list all your expenses, divided into the 3 buckets we discussed. Use the traffic light method. Highlight different fields in different colors. This will improve optimization. By calculating the difference, you can assess and analyze your financial health and identify where you can save. How does this work in practice? Look at your spreadsheet through the lens of the 3 colors. Green is your income. We want this area to grow. Yellow is your discretionary spending, the nice-to-haves. Your goal is to keep this under control and prevent it from eating away your capital. Red is the risk zone and unnecessary spending. If there's too much red in your spreadsheet, your money is just burning up with no benefit. When you see this math right in front of your eyes, the magic happens on its own. You'll suddenly discover that the difference between money in and money out is your degree of freedom, your surplus. If this difference is negative or 0, you are in a financial trap. If it's at least 10 to 20% of your income, congratulations. You have officially started the path to building wealth. Now these aren't just numbers. It's your resource for investing, which in the future will relieve you of the necessity to work for survival. That is your degree of freedom. If your degree of freedom, your delta, is 0, you are in financial slavery. Your first goal is to make this delta positive, at least 5–10%. This money should not go toward new sneakers. It should go to your emergency fund. Do you know the golden standard for an emergency fund size? It's enough to cover 6 months of your red and yellow bucket living costs. Having that sum allows you to make decisions based on what's beneficial for you, not on fear. You don't have to do this forever if you don't like the routine. Try it for at least 3 to 6 months. Why so long? Because of the seasonality factor. Vacations, holidays, and insurance payments that occur only once a year. This will give you an honest picture of your financial health. Many investors are currently watching inflation and the central bank's rates closely, but your personal inflation is more important. If prices in stores went up by 10%, but your spending on the non-essential bucket increased by 30%, it's not the Federal Reserve that's to blame. It's a lack of control. Getting your finances in order isn't about restriction. It's about awareness. When you see the actual numbers, you'll understand how much you could truly be saving and investing today without even changing your lifestyle, just by eliminating the unnecessary. Remember, discipline in the small things leads to big opportunities in the future. This information will help you better navigate your resources and make more conscious financial decisions. I hope you found this video helpful and that it helped you look at your money from a new perspective. In the next video, we are going to dive even deeper. Why are your efforts to save and invest amounting to nothing? We'll discuss the leaky wallet phenomenon, the psychology of financial chaos. You'll learn why the human brain loses the battle against stores and how to stop it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that breakdown. I'll see you in the next video.